3, 2, 1. Sound check. The aggravating part about doing this every time, since I'm still kind of new to this, sort of, kind of, is I have to do sound checks because sure as crap, I'll just start going and going and going and going, and something will be screwball. I'll hear myself, but y'all won't hear me. So let me know in the chats if you can hear me. There is no music. That's not going to work, the setup I had. It was fun to do that when making fun of Dear Amber Turd, but I went back and listened to it, and Bluetoothing my soundtracks for my phone to the Rodecaster simply wasn't working. So let me know in the chats. Do you hear me? Yes, no. And Tara, good evening, Caleb. So far, so good. I assume y'all can hear me. Nobody's yelling at me. Thumbs up. Yes, no. Getting 30 seconds into this. Oh, a minute and 15. All righty. Well, I'm just going to assume that you can hear me then. Today's topic, alcohol. Imagine that. A former drunk talking about alcohol. And I say former, and I'm getting to my point. I got a really, really good question the other day in one of the comment sections. And, well, I'm just going to put, I've got the comment, and this is the shortened version. I've got it up on the screen that only allows for 200 characters. So I'm going to read the rest of it. Get my old glasses. This is from Angela C. on, I can't remember which video it was, but again, it only allows for 200 characters. I'm not hiding anything on purpose. That's why I'm reading it aloud. This is from Angela C. Caleb, this is a sensitive question, and I hope you won't take offense to it. I am honestly curious about your perspective. You have often talked about Judge Billingsley having great judgment, but to the unbiased observer, it seems strange that she would award custody of a child to a compulsive alcoholic. My question is, looking back, now that you are 2 years sober, do you still think it was right to seek custody of your kids when you were in that condition? Again, I enjoy your videos and I mean no ill will. I've just never heard you address this specific part of your alcoholism. I think your sobriety is wonderful and you look great. I didn't add that part. She really did say I look great. Oh, that was from yesterday or 2 days ago's live, talking about being a victim and the voodoo around it. I'm so glad she asked that. And that's kind of what prompted what I wanted to talk about today is the overall health benefits of alcohol. And to this day, especially since I'm 22 months sober almost, very, very close to coming up on 2 years, the health benefits, I would say, from alcohol is one big goose egg. Big fat zero. There are zero, nada, zilch health benefits from alcohol consumption by human beings. Now, I will admit that there are objectively, or is it subjectively? I always get those mixed up. Objectively, some benefits of drinking alcohol. It loosens you up. I get that temporarily. It makes you forget your problems temporarily, and then it compounds them. It changes. Some people say it reveals who you are. There's this line from a house. If you know me at all, you've heard me talk about I'm a house junkie. And there's a doctor on there named Dr. 13 or 13. Her name is Dr. Headley, but house called her 13 because that was her number when she was in the line for him to select a new doctor after Cameron quit. Anyway, she said alcohol doesn't change who you are, it reveals who you are. And it sounded really profound. And I watched that years ago. That's an old episode. That was like season 5 or something, 5 or 6. That was probably 2009, 2010. And it sounds real profound, especially coming from, 13, because she's absolutely drop dead gorgeous. But now that I'm sober and I've had some time to think about things, I don't think that's it at all. I think it loosens you up and it makes you do things that you would not normally do. And for an introvert like me, and you may be one of those introverts, there's loads of them. I'm not an extrovert. I like extroverts. They're fun people to be around. They're fun to know, but I'm not one. And for introverts to be around, especially in a laid back setting, not a professional, but like a laid back, like at a bar and a gathering of some kind where there's some people, some people you don't know. For an introvert to be around them when they have alcohol in them, it loosens them up and they can, it's a little easier, or was for me anyways, to be around these bubbly people, these never met a stranger types. And I dare say that most Americans are probably conceived because at least one of their parents was drunk. Probably both of them. Because let's face it, America has got a gigantic alcohol problem. I mean, it's massive. There are billions and billions and billions spent by Americans every year just to buy the stuff. They need it. They think they need it. They're convinced they need it because Hollywood tells them they need it. So when I say in my past videos that I've talked about, various videos over the past couple of years, particularly in the beginning when I was just basically documenting what was happening in my life, how I felt spiritually, emotionally, physically, as I was drying out. And that is coming from me. That is my opinion of myself. When I say I was an alcoholic, I never went to a doctor to say, hey, Dr. House, Dr. Whoever, I don't feel good. I got this, I got that. These are my problems. And then run a series of tests, liver tests, blood tests. And for the doctor to come back and say, yes, sir, you indeed are Mr. Leverett, an alcoholic. That never happened. So what is an alcoholic? I'm not sure. I kind of know it when I see it. That's just me giving myself a label. But again, there was never any kind of doctor involved. I passed every drug test and piss test forced upon me, probably dozen or plus over the course of 10 years of being drug into the family court. And every time I got sued again, I get sued again. And I always pass those. And people say, well, yeah, the alcohol's out of your system after, so many hours. Okay, well, I obviously wasn't drunk the previous 12 hours before that. When I say I was an alcoholic, that's just my opinion. Kind of like my opinion, I'm saying I dare say that most Americans, if they're not alcoholics, a lot of them, I'd say probably close to half of them are borderline. They get drunk on the weekends. Every weekend. Oh, I never drink during the week. Ever. I only get drunk on the weekends. Every weekend. Oh, hell yeah. Or just once a month. The first of the month, I just take off a couple days, go get shit faced. Well, that's a pattern. So there's different definitions of what being an alcoholic is, of which I am not a doctor, so I cannot say, but I can say anything that I want to about myself. I cannot get on here and publicly accuse private people of being alcoholics, even though I suspect a certain group of people that are. I can't go talking about it, but I can say it about myself. So I say I was an alcoholic. Maybe by some people's standards, I wasn't. I was very functional. I never missed a day of work, no matter how hungover I was. I got used to the hangovers. I never missed a visitation with the Cheerins, driving 750 miles round trip from Odessa to San Antonio and back every weekend. I never missed a visitation since I was reduced to a visitor. I was very functional. So that is me putting a label on myself. I got to the point, and it wasn't the same. I firmly believe it started that day in Parker versus the Man that y'all have seen. Whenever Parker was ripped away from me, I mean, I remember that like it was yesterday. It's still like burned into my heart, my soul, if I have one. It's burned into, and I went home and I got shit faced, like completely shit faced, and I'm not proud of it, but it's what I did. My mother and sister were out there in the parking lot. I even told them what I was going to do. They said, no. And I wasn't listening. But it went from depression was the reason I drank to that kind of went away. I kind of started dealing with my PTSD to I just had to have it to sleep. And some days are more than others. And every time I moved, which was very, very frequently, but tend to get worse. So to answer Angela's question, and I just put the shortened version up there again. It's the StreamYard only allows for 20 or 200 characters, and so I shortened it. Looking back now that you're 2 years sober, do you still think that it was right to seek custody of your kids when you were in that condition of compulsive alcoholic? Well, I'm not sure that I was a compulsive alcoholic. Maybe I was. And to answer that, yes, I do. I didn't go pick up the kids drunk. I didn't wake up in the mornings thinking, oh, pour it in my cereal, like, Hollywood movies like to joke about. I didn't work all day and just think, oh man, I got to get to the bar. I got to get a drink. I'm going to get the shakes if I don't get a drink. It never was that at all. I would work my schedule around where I made sure I had alcohol where I was going to be for the night, which was usually at home. But when I was a field mechanic, sometimes you get caught in your truck, or, you're miles from, you're way out in BFE. But, I would do those type things. But I dare say, and I was prepared for this, if it was going to be pushed in court that, prove that I'm not an alcoholic, I was fully prepared to flip that. Because what is good for the goose is good for the gander. And with the billions and billions and billions of dollars that are spent every single year in this country on booze, it's a pretty good chance somebody that boozes it up. So I don't know, what is an alcoholic? Again, I think I was. Loads of people drink every other weekend or every weekend, or just have just a toddy at night, just a nightcap. Or here's the good one: wine. Hollywood, especially Hollywood women, love wine, and women in general seem to love wine more than men. There are no health benefits that I've ever found. You'll find articles occasionally, well, if you have just a little bit of the right kind of red wine and mixed with blah, 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 and it, what do they do it? What do they call cleansing the palate or whatever, these yuppie people, however they say it? They're in dreamland. They're in imaginary wish world. They hope that their red wine is healthier than some because they love it. And that is a sign of addiction. If you start making up news articles or op-ed pieces and finding some vague doctor of some kind, where he's so vague, maybe he's not even a medical doctor, maybe he's just a fake doctor, like House says, like a shrink or a dentist or a psychologist. Well, I guess psychologists, they'd probably know, because there's a lot involved there. But if you're making up scenarios on why or how alcohol in any amount for any reason is good for you, maybe you are the alcoholic, because that's part of alcohol addiction is craving. And people will, when they crave something, they'll do just about anything to get it. I mean, people have often, talked about drug dealers and druggies, tweakers being the type of people that just have to do anything to get what they want. Well, make no mistake. Just because alcohol is legal does not mean it's not a drug, because it most certainly is. It has absolutely no health benefits. And if you can find a doctor that would come up, that would prove me wrong, by all means, let me know. I just think that it's a stretch. This whole follow the science thing that has just gotten real big these days, follow the science. Even with follow the science, I'm a big believer in science. Even though I'm not a scientist, I understand the general rule of scientific theory and test subjects and blind subjects. I get that. But you also, with these scientists, you have to not just follow the science, you got to follow the money. And that's just a fact of life with just about everything, including family court. You follow the money. If you pay the right person the right amount, or pad their pockets in the right way for the right amount, you can get anybody to say just about anything. A lot of people have no moral conscience. I'm not saying everybody's like that, but let's just face it. Every ad you've ever seen on television, from the pick your favorite movie star, pick your favorite rap star, pick your favorite country and western song, if they're pushing some kind of alcohol, I promise you they aren't doing it out of the goodness of their heart. They are doing it because they are paid. They're paid to say, this is the kind of alcohol I drink, and y'all think I'm cool, so everybody wants to be cool and accepted, right? Well, drink my wine, drink my gin, drink my vodka, drink my whiskey. They're getting paid to say that. A paid endorsement, which endorsements are fine. They wouldn't get out there and say it even with the money, I dare say, unless, they're not too worried about it coming back on them as far as a bad reputation. But for Angela C, her question, looking back, do you still think it was right to seek custody of kids when you were in that condition of compulsive alcoholic? Yes, I do. I was wrong to have done what I did. That's how I dealt with the depression of my child being ripped away from me. It was wrong of me to do it. And I knew it was not going to be a long-term, there wasn't a benefit for it to being long-term. But yes, I do think it was okay for me to do that. It was right for me to do it because, again, I didn't just wake up every morning, wipe the sleep out of my eye and pour me a toddy or dump it in my coffee. I never did that. Never even thought. In fact, I thought about what it'd be like, and I was like, bleh. Even for me, that was gross. It just was something, especially at that time. I did it to go to sleep. I don't like bars. I never have liked bars. I've been in plenty of bars. I've got it on silent. I don't know if y'all heard that, but it came plumb through to my speakers. I've got my Bluetooth off and it just came through, and I've got a troll that just will not stop calling me. All right, kid, you're getting blocked. Pardon me. Block contact. I don't know if this is going to work. I've tried this and sometimes they still get through. If you find my number online and text me, I'm probably not going to answer it. Occasionally I do answer them. But if I don't answer the first time, This is unbelievable. Like I've got it on side. I've got it blocked. I don't know what else to do. Unfreaking seriously, do y'all hear that? You know what? I'm just going to answer this idiot if he calls back and just, do y'all hear that? Y'all heard it? Okay, y'all are hearing this guy. I mean, if he won't stop calling, I'm just going to answer, and I don't know what else to do, and just say, please stop calling. Like, talk about lose your train of thought. Like, it's on silent, and my Bluetooth is off. Regina Scott says it's so crazy. Yeah, I guess. I assume you're talking about people just blowing my phone up. If you find my number online, if I don't answer, then I'm busy. I don't know who these people are. Sometimes I return texts if I can, but there's so many crazies. If you want to see how crazy some of these people are, I've got about at least half a dozen montages of videos of people who absolutely hate me, who found my number and stalk me. And you can find those on my channel. Most of those were posted last year in 2021. My oldest one was posted 2013 or 14. It's just a picture. All it is just a picture of Riggs, my dog, or a video of Riggs, my dog. And some lady just calling me up and telling me what a piece of crap father I am. So, she, whatever, been texting me. I love your stuff. And I mean, that's fine. But man, when I'm busy. And all it does is it just irritates me to no end when people do that. Call, text. I know I was answering Angela's question, but I don't remember exactly what I was talking about. Well, that's just another one of those bugs that I'm going to have to figure out. Why in the world? All right, kid. All right. Hello.
Hello.
Dude, I'm literally live on YouTube right now, and you just keep calling me. I'm not trying to be rude, but dude, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm just busy.
Okay.
Again, I don't mean to be rude, but if I don't answer, I'm just busy. It's nothing personal.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you got me. So what's up?
Not much. I'm just watching the live stream. How are you?
This is just a really awkward moment. I'm great, I guess. Who am I speaking with? Hello? Evan. Okay. Hi, Evan. How are you?
Good.
So how's your day going, Evan? Are you watching the live stream about it being drunk and alcoholism? You're not drunk, are you, Evan?
No.
Good. Well, what's on your mind, Evan? Again, you got me here. You got through. You got me. What's up? He bailed. That's why I don't answer these. I mean, maybe I was rude. I don't know. Half the time when I answer them, and it's just the first time they call, because this has been going on for 9 years. I mean, half the time when I do answer, they hang up anyways. I don't understand people. And it's, Evan, if you're watching this, dude, it's nothing personal, man, but sometimes that's part of learning, and it's part of, like in my case with me and my kids, Yeah, I don't hit my kids. I never hit them. But sometimes when they do dumb shit, I'm going to get right up in their grills and tell them why it's dumb. It's rude. It's inappropriate to just text somebody 15 times a day and call and call and call and call. If it was one of my kids calling me, then and they did it like that, I would know there's something wrong and I would end this broadcast immediately and I would just take the call. But if you don't know me personally, I can't think of any reason in the world to call me over and over and over. I mean, even bill collectors don't even call me that much. Whoa. What's up, D's nuts? Evan Clam is rubbing hot pockets over his naked body. How did y'all know? Did it pop up on your end? His name? Oops. I mean, I didn't ask for this dude to call me, and I hope it didn't post his number out there. I guess if it did, that's kind of what you get, man. But oops. Creepy guy that called anyway. Alcohol in small amounts can thin out blood, which can prevent blood clots and prevent a temporary relief of constipation. Otherwise, alcohol is bad for you. Yeah, if you use it as okay, I can see that. Okay, thank you, Butterfly Garden. I can see as a medicine for a temporary fix for a very temporary problem. I can see that. There's even an episode of House where LL Cool J was the guest. Is either the first episode of season 2 or first episode of season 3, I think. LL Cool J starred as a prisoner in House. He was on death row and he was just about to get executed, and he was trying to take control in some way, any way possible. And so he wound up drinking toner, like copy printer toner. And the copy printer toner is I don't know. There's a difference. There's methanol and ethanol, and I always forget which is which, and I don't really care to know. I just know drinking alcohol is one, and other kind of like rubbing alcohol is the other, and I don't know which is which. But he drank this toner, which was, let's just call it ethanol. And the cure for ethanol is methanol, because House says it binds with some kind of protein, and he just peed it right out harmlessly. And then of course, House makes a funny joke. He goes, "I just saved your life for now," or something like that, because he's on death row. So yeah, as a medicine, like when I was a kid, my parents never drank that I knew of, like ever. But we'd get these croup coughs, and my mom would give us a single teaspoon. I guess it's Old Crow is whiskey, and there's just this little black bird on it. I just assume it was Old Crow. And that was the nastiest crap. But she, if we couldn't stop coughing, even as a little kid, we wanted it to go away. She would give us a teaspoon of that. I'm like, this Old Crow bottle, it stayed up there my entire childhood. Like, she genuinely used it only as medicine, which is fine. I mean, looking back, I don't know that I would do that, but I'm not faulting my mom for that. Apparently that's an old way of, getting rid of a cough, but it was medicine. It was a very tiny specific amount at a very tiny specific time for a tiny specific reason. And if you call that health, I think that falls under the line of more like medicine. When I'm talking about health, I'm talking about like the reason I drink a gallon plus of water every single day is for health reasons. The reason I eat about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight is for health reasons. The reason I eat lots and lots of spinach is for health reasons. The reason you get the point. When you're taking it medicinally, I guess you could say, that's it keeps you, it gets you healthy if you're sick, I guess, but it's not like a daily regimen. Mom didn't just say, "Here, have your daily shot of Old Crow, Caleb, to make sure you don't get a cough." Oh, dude. I drink the night before getting a tattoo. Lots of bleeding. Hardy, har. Yeah, I don't recommend. I think probably every tattoo I've got, I at least had some alcohol in me. They say you're not supposed to because of, like they're saying, it's a oh my. Here comes another thunderstorm. Man, it has been raining. I've been in Florida a year and a half, and I don't remember last year. I mean, it always rains in Florida, but I don't remember last year being this much of a rainy season. Maybe it's because I'm in the central part of southern Florida now, like Okeechobee. But we've had it rains every single day. But last night we got another 8 to 10 inches. And 2 or 3 nights before before that was another 8 to 10 inches. And my goodness, it's gorgeous. I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying I may have to cut this short because when I start here, about every third or fourth lightning storm we have, power goes out. It's real intermittent, and I'm going to lose you anyway. So, but so far it sounds like it's still off in the distance. Faye Teeter, I don't hate you. I really like you, and you're a great dad too. Well, thank you, Faye. I've seen some of your comments. You're a very kind person. Thank you very much. I'm glad you don't hate me. Let's see. I kick rocks. I can't have any alcohol because my medication doesn't mix well with it. But recently, cold sake is okay. That okay. More power to you, but there's that name that I'm just going to shut down. I'm going to do my absolute best. Panagiotis Gorgias. I'm just going to start calling you Pana because I feel so stupid not even know how to name. How many thunderstorms are there right now? A bunch. Like the whole entire from here where I'm at in the central southern part of Florida all the way down past Key West. It's just constant rolling in. It's just gorgeous. In this little Florida room that I've got every morning, it's humid in the morning. In the mornings, the sun shines every morning. And then about 2 or 3 o'clock, they just start rolling in. And sometimes they last an hour. Sometimes they last, like that last one lasted like 24 hours. But there's a little, where my bed is, there's this little patch of sun that comes in. And I just take my shirt off and just sit there and bask in the sun for about an hour or 2 every morning. Jenny Moody says hello. Hello, Jenny. Oh, I'm getting some clues on how to pronounce it. And all the G's in my last name are soft. Jorgias. I'm not very good at it. Did I already get to this one? I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, I've gotten to that one. I'm curious to watch this after it goes on live on how Evan here, or D's Nuts, Pepe D's Nuts knew his name was. I mean, I didn't type that in there. The only way that y'all could have known Evan Clam was it must have popped up as a caller ID. I have no idea. I'm not trying to dox anybody or anything, but I mean, that's what you get. All right, now I'm going to take off that banner, hide. And now y'all like my little Instagram, Twitter at Caleb Leverett, my little scrolling thing down there. My Twitter is just weird. Like I have almost no reach on there. That's why I don't post a whole lot on there. If I do, it's more political stuff. I don't like to get too political on certain conversations, but sometimes I do like being ornery. And I think, Pepe D's nuts. It's like I get like that kind of trolly whenever I'm talking smack on. Oh, he was in the comment section. Okay, well, I mean that's that. That's just how it goes, man. Lex Xenos. After seeing the video where your son defended himself from his mother in your car with you, I wish you were my father. I wouldn't have turned out so much of a mess if you were, I reckon. Lex, come on. It saddens me every time people tell me that, young kids tell me that. There's no perfect recipe for whether you're going to be a mess or not. Yeah, bad crap happens. I get it. But people tell me, they like how I parented. Well, I didn't have a good dad. He wasn't around. He's never around. And I hadn't talked to him in almost 5 years now. And I mean, yeah, arguably my life's a mess, but arguably I'm recovering. In many ways, I've recovered. If nothing else, I got these guns. Bam! That's another thing that you don't get with alcohol. You don't get to maintain this kind of physique if you are drunk all the time. It just doesn't happen. Well, Lex, you are the author of your future. You get to decide if you want to, as you put it, be a mess, stay a mess, or be a former mess. So whatever's happened to you in the past, and I'm not trying to downplay it because I have no idea what happened to you. PTSD is a real thing. The better you learn to manage it, the better off you'll be. And for most people, I would suggest, or I would say that finding help, we are definitely, as much of an introvert as I am, we are most definitely social creatures. And even the most introverted of introvert, in some shape, form, or fashion, craves some kind of bond with another human being. And be careful who you bond with. Make sure they are a genuine person. But I'm kind of blabbing now. But Lex, that makes me sad when I'm grateful, but it makes me sad when I read those, because I know there's a lot of kids out there that they just don't have anybody. They don't have a dad or a mom or both or either. Legal. When I was like 7, my dad was working 12 hours a day and got almost zero chance to see him through the day. My mother wasn't working, and I loved, and I still love him more than my mother. Okay. Maybe y'all are talking to each other. I'm not sure what that means. There we go. Adam O'Reilly. How you been, brother? If you're the same Adam O'Reilly I used to talk to or see on here before, alcohol has lots of calories. Yes, it does. And you know what's in those calories? It ain't protein. If you're worried about your macros, that's the new term these days. I'd never heard it till Blaine came along. He's the one. I mean, apparently it's been around a while, but he's the first person I've heard use that term, macros. There's lots of calories in alcohol, and you don't just pass them through. Your body has to burn it, and there's no protein in there. And if you keep up the alcohol consumption, you're going to look like you're going to want to look like Bill Gates. For real, dude. Hello. I can't even block. You know what, dude? If you're just going to keep trolling me, fine. I'll just let them troll you. See, get you a shot of that. I'm just, it doesn't show up very well. I'll just put it. Screw it. I don't even care anymore. Be an asshole. Get treated like an asshole. There. That's Evan that keeps calling me, that will not take a hint, that will not stop calling me, that I've, in my most kind way, told you, please stop doing this. There. See how you like it. It's not fun, dude. Now you get to go change your number. How's that? How does that make you feel? Like maybe I'm a dick for doing that. You back me in a corner, dude. You back me in a corner. Please stop calling me. I mean, it's just beyond rude at this point. Beyond rude. It's cruel. It's mean. I probably shouldn't have done that. Take it off. That's back to where we are. Adam O'Reilly. Yeah, I'm the same Adam. I've been very busy lately, so I haven't been on the lives as much. How's the boat going? And I've been interested in van life recently, which is kind of similar, I guess. Well, Adam, good. I'm glad that's the same Adam. I sold the boat. I found there's an old man that needed it, wanted it, and actually I had to personally finance it, which I've never done before. But it's a long story. He's a nice old man, like super nice old man, and I just felt sorry for him, and I would have much rather have had the money, but beggars can't be choosers. I need to get rid of it because I couldn't afford the slip. But I don't regret my time on my boat. I loved my time on my boat. I became a sailor, sort of, kind of, if you could say I was a sailor. I guess I was. I knew more about boats than a lot of people. Most people, a lot of people never even been on a boat, much less a sailboat, much less lived on a sailboat. But I learned a lot. I learned about a lot about who I was. And I have no regrets. And I'm not done with boating. I'm just done with boating for now. I think next time I'm going to try, if I do boats, I'm going to try a power boat this time. And I'm sure not going to do it right now with gas prices like this, but I don't have the money to buy a big boat anyways. But man, if you're getting into the van life, that's badass, dude. I know a lot of people that do that. And the way the vans are these days, there's so many options, You can get as big as you want. I've seen people on Instagram will buy these old U-Hauls, and they get really, really creative, and they build an entire efficiency apartment in them. And then on the outside, one of the things is, like, in a lot of areas, they don't like you to park an RV. If you like park overnight, like Walmart or something, they shun you. They turn you away because they don't want, a bunch of grifters coming in and communities. I mean, they've got their reason. I see why, but these people that get these U-Hauls, these vans, they'll just, on the outside, they just make them real nice, but just white, plain white, no numbers, letters, nothing. They're just moving. It's just a moving van. And on the inside is a full-blown apartment. And they like it because they can commute into like real urban areas for work and not have to pay, hotel bills every night and not get booted. They can park somewhere and everyone that no one notices it. They just think, okay, that's just, a moving van. Nobody notices it. It's interesting. It's the psychology behind it is really interesting. My cell phone is in here too. Jiminy Christmas. Mine's already leaked. Mine's been leaked for years. That's how he got my number. But that is really strange, Faye. So my phone showed up in there too. Alrighty. Well, whole freaking world's got my number, but oh well. Tori McFarland. Caleb, if you're ever looking for someone to talk to on stream with you, I would be interested when I don't have little ones. Yeah. Another dad, another single dad. Sure. If you know how to do that, I know people use StreamYard for that very thing. There is a way. I don't think it. I've already been on 46 minutes. I think it'd be appropriate for me to like sit here and just troubleshoot this. Tori, send me, email me your info, crankmycat@gmail.com. And if you're interested, what I've been doing is I'm trying to go Monday through Friday, 8:00 p.m. I made 3 days last week, and 2 or 3 days this week, something like that. There's a way on my end I can send you a link. I can email you a link, and all you'll have to do is on your end, I believe, is go to, I would imagine StreamYard and put the link in, but I'm not sure. But yeah, sure. Heck yeah, Tori. If I'm not mistaken, I remember seeing your name as well. Oh, Dan and Datera, thanks for being you, and thank you for the $2 chip in. Well, thank you very, very much. I don't know who else to be other than just me. I have to be me. That's the only person I'm very good at being. Lex, Caleb, and the Butterfly Garden. Thank you both for your wise words. It means a lot to me, especially because I never hear advice from anybody as I'm totally alone. Sometimes the stress is overwhelming. Yeah, as much as, and again, I'm just speaking for myself as a severe introvert. Some people don't think I am just because I get on here and run my mouth, but I've just been at this so long. I was kind of thrown into this because I was desperate to do something to help my kids, and now I'm just kind of used to it. But even as much as we love being alone, even for us, loneliness, too much loneliness hurts. It hurts a lot. And, and Lex, you're more than welcome. It's people like you that are the reason I keep doing this. The person that was telling, maybe you're the sorry. Well, never mind. That's kind of the reason I keep doing this. It's a decent paycheck. It's not great, but it's, it is what it is. I've already thrown myself out there. So, and I enjoy helping people. I've always enjoyed helping people, even when I was a little kid. TC, there are no benefits of drinking. Right. Health, in just minor correction for me, there's no health benefits to drinking. There's benefits. I mean, let's face it, the reason anybody gets drunk is fun. A lot of fun. Just get real out there. But it's fun for about that long. And then everything that was wrong and effed up in your life is now pushed back, and you get to have a whole night without having to worry about it because you're in bed with somebody you shouldn't be in bed with, probably, and doing things you shouldn't be doing, and you're going to have a hangover. But their problems the next day are not only there, but they're delayed, and they're compounded. They get, if you don't deal with your problems, they don't just go away. You have to face your problems, and alcohol is the worst way to do that. Another $2 chip in from Dan and Dictera. Who made your favorite video on the Parker movie? What do you mean? Who made my favorite video on the Parker movie? I did. I've made every video that's on there. And some people, I didn't, just for clarification, when I say the Parker movie, there's not been like Warner Brothers contacted me and, or a Hallmark movie or anything like that. When I say the Parker movie, I'm just talking about my own YouTube channel, Parker, or 14-year-old Parker stands up for his rights. That's what I call the movie. I didn't even make that up. That was something that commenters started saying that. So that wasn't me. So who made my favorite video on the Parker movie? Me. I was the producer, the photographer, the whole enchilada. Another one from the Butterfly Garden. I'm sorry, Lex. I don't know how old you are, but life can be great. Just chat with people who can support you. Yeah, that's part of that's finding the right connections with the right people. Just part of the human experience. Some of us obviously don't know how to pick mates, and we make 4 kids with them, and then it creates a big pile of problems. And you need to take those clues when they're the wrong person, when they're these awful, terrible people that just fight all the time. Those aren't the ones you want to get in relationship with and talk to. It's okay to talk to them just for a second, but then once you feel them out a little bit, if something doesn't feel right, no harm done. Just go on to the next one. Try somebody else. Try a different person. That's I think, honestly, that's why there's so many different like specialty groups, like book clubs and, pottery clubs and, any kind of sports club. It's just people who have a certain common interest. They just kind of want to go around people that have the similar interest. That way they can talk about the same things. I like sometimes talking shit about anarchist politics and making fun of the Democrats and the Republicans almost equally. But not everybody, like in this audience, I dare say that nobody in here agrees politically. I would imagine I've got people from the right and from the left, and I don't really come on here to talk about that because that's not what I've built this channel around. The channel is built around family court, survival, dealing with PTSD through various issues because of the crap that happens in family court. So when I want to talk crap about politicians, yeah, I'll put in a few jabs here and there, just if they happen to be involved in my stuff, like deadbeat Ken Paxton, the AG of Texas. But when I want to just talk general anarchist politics and make fun of all of them, then that's where I get on Facebook and I just talk mad shit there. But I do that because there's other people like me. I've made a set of friends there. We have like interests. And so I like hanging around them. They like hanging around me. It's mutual. So she's a Butterfly Garden. She's like, oh, just chat with people who can support you. And I would dare say, have something in common with you. Find some kind of, like I said, group. Underwater basket weaving. If that's your thing, find someone else that likes to underwater basket weave and y'all chill and talk. Oh, here's a clarification from Dan and Datera. I'm asking which reaction channel did your favorite reaction? Oh, did their favorite reaction to the Parker movie? Oh. I'm sorry. Probably Bose. Bose made me laugh harder than anybody. Of course, there's really not a whole lot to laugh about unless you've got a sick sense of humor like me and apparently Bose. But I mean, she was real serious. She made a very compelling arguments. I just like her sense of humor and some of the things that come out of her mouth that they just made me laugh. The guy what was it? Think Before You Sleep. He probably made me think the most. He was real detailed. He didn't cover the whole thing, but he did a really good job of condensing not just the Parker movie, but a few of the others, and he condensed it down to like 15 or 20 minutes. I liked his for the way it made me think, but as far as like overall, it was Bose. Bose is hilarious. I love Bose. She's funny. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, Bose versus the World is a YouTuber, and she mostly covers true crime. I don't really know why she covered mine, but she did. And she covered the Johnny Depp stuff. She's got that lawyer type mind. She understands lawyer jargon way better than I do. She's hilarious. If you next time you're on her channel, tell her I said hello, and I hope she's doing well. Okay. This is from Lex. I'm 27. I have anxiety, so I'm pretty much a shut in. When I have socialized, unfortunately, the wrong ones tend to be drawn to me because they want to take advantage of me. Yep. And all the more reason why you, of all people, should not be a drinker. I'm not saying you are. I have no idea. The ideal predator would love for you to likes to be somebody who drinks, because when you, like what I've talked about earlier, when you drink, it changes your inhibitions. It makes you do, say, and agree to things that you probably wouldn't do if you were completely sober. And unfortunately, that's another downside. I'm glad, and I know I'm not trying to get too personal here, because I don't know your personal stuff. I'm just going by what y'all are talking about in the chat. Is that's another downside to alcohol, is predators know all too well the effects of alcohol. Predators know what date rape drugs, and I probably shouldn't even, not allowed to say that. Oh well, I did. They know what drugs to mix with. Especially women need to be very, very careful in bars. If you are going to drink, they make these little deals now that you've got your cup. If you do decide to drink, I wish you wouldn't, because it'd save yourself a lot of heartache. But if you are going to, they've got these little rubber, it looks like a condom, and it just goes through the straw. It just slips over, and that way you can carry it. And if you turn away just for a second, they can't just easily dump it in. So stay safe out there. You're way better off if you are completely yourself, because you're less likely to make those really, really bad decisions that you will regret. I'm just kind of blabbing too much there, but that's what she's talking about. They take advantage of her. So. I love Bo's reaction too, as well as Natalie Love's. They're both are. Oh gosh, Natalie Love. Yes, Natalie Love. She did. She's just about as shit that comes out of her mouth. For the love of God, I'm gonna have to call AT&T and figure out how I can. Oh my God. These fucking trolls. These goddamn fucking trolls. That's why I don't answer your phone calls. That's that right there. It's beyond annoying. Yeah. Where was I? Natalie Love. Yeah. I never found hers. I found hers by accident. I never knew how to look up on the back end of YouTube to find out people who had used all of my videos, because they say you can block them or whatever, and I never do. I don't block anybody. I wish I could block this dude, but I can't. But I found hers, and just by accident, and she's a hoot. She's a mess, but she's hilarious, and I absolutely loved hers as well. And here is the no Daniel official. Must be new. Parker's fine. I can't talk much about it. That's the question I get by far the most. How's Parker? How the kids? And the answer is they're just fine. They're all grown. Parker is a professional horse trainer now. He's doing well. He's got a lot of really good things going that I just can't talk about. And I don't talk about my cheerings. They've got private lives, and I respect their private lives. So anyway, I'm not getting on to you. That's just one of those questions that, how many times can I answer the same thing? Old man. This old man's doing well, Keen. Doing a lot better than I was. Almost 22 months sober. How's your world? Yeah, life's getting a lot better. Picked up a pretty good part-time gig today with this guy that I've done subcontract work over the past year and a half. So I can't go into it, but I know there's my trolls that would just love to dig into me and find out and yell at me, "Get a job, Kayla, won't you get a job?" And there's a reason I don't give out certain informations, because I'll get people like this Evan dude that just will not stop calling me, and they bug me about it. It's still turning. Good to hear how you're doing. Yeah. Well, keep it up then. Which reaction video from Mr. Palmer did you like the most? That's an excellent question. I love Mr. Palmer, and I would have to say probably the Parker versus the man one. I don't ever watch that video anymore because I can't. It's got like mega triggers. Very, very seldom would a grown man make me cry, but watching Mr. Palmer cover Parker versus the man and show that kind of support for my son, watching a video that's already like the worst day of my life, it brought a tear to my eye. And that was the most heartfelt one, was from Mr. Palmer. If you're on here and you've not, just look up Mr. Palmer he's got a YouTube channel, and his thing is the baby mama terrorists. He just seeks them out and exposes who they are and exposes the hypocrisy. And if you've got tender little ears, maybe he's not the best choice for you, because Mr. Palmer is very, very blunt and he has no filter whatsoever. And I am not talking shit behind his back at all, because I love that man. He brought tears to my eyes for covering the Parker. I guess that was a kind of loaded question. Whoever asked me that, what was my favorite? I mean, I know all these. I don't think about them all the time. I guess my natural instinct is favorite being the funniest, because I like comedy, even dark comedy. And Mr. Palmer is a funny person, but he's I associate him, as a grown man who made me cry watching him defend my son. The world needs more Mr. Palmers. The world needs more males who have testosterone and men with balls. We need more manly men. That's just my 2 cents. I know that's not popular to a lot of people, especially in this woke culture that we're in these days. Miss Mary, Mr. Leverett, I need you to turn on your alien behind you, please. Then tell me if you've ever seen a UFO in real life before. Miss Mary's pretending like we don't know each other. We do. I think the batteries are dead. I left it on one night. No, it works. Oh, Okay, that's all they're on. Maybe I charged them, just forgot. I don't know. Then tell me if you've ever seen a UFO in real life before. No. I've had one. Oh, that's a good whole new topic, Miss Mary. Get your keyboard out tomorrow and go live with me. I had one ghost encounter. Only one. I've wanted to see more. I don't know if I believe in ghosts or not. I want to believe in ghosts. I want to believe that there's outside spirits, upside down world like Stranger Things. I want to believe. Maybe there is. I think there's a really good possibility that there is. I'd just love to find proof, but I don't mind. I'll go into this one ghost type story. I know this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but this will lead into, this will be a good one for tomorrow. Miss Mary, your challenge, I challenge you to get on with me tomorrow. And we'll talk about ghost stuff and UFOs and, Joe Rogan shit. In about 2014 or 15, 15 or 16, I had moved into a camper. I'd moved the camper down to San Antonio, a little town south of San Antonio. It's in the metro, not in the Metroplex, but it's called Elmendorf. And in Elmendorf, it's called Bronig Lake RV Park. And in Bronig Lake RV Park is a very, very old, big, deep, right in the center. There's really deep body of water. I think what it was, they dug the hole and used it to build up the roads, which is a pretty common thing to do. And so it just fills up with water. But anyway, there's RVs all the way around it. And while I was there, I probably lived there a couple years. And one night, I don't know where, I think it was just Parker with me. I guess the little ones, they weren't with me. So it had to have been during the week. But Parker he was 16, 17. He was in that middle ground, he's too big to keep, anyway, he was with me that night and we both went to sleep. And in a camper, you don't have a switch that, like, it doesn't just stick out and you flick it up. It's these little toggle switches. You push up to turn it on, push down to turn it off. And you can't just tap it. You have to, give it a few pounds worth of pressure to put it on. Well, we had a cat back then. I don't even remember her name. She was dumb. She was blonde. I didn't like her, but it was impossible for the cat to have done it. But Parker and I were talking. It was, I don't know, probably about midnight, and we decided to go to bed. And yes, I obviously had, a couple of nightcaps, but I wouldn't waste it by any means. I was just ready to go to bed. So we turned the light off, and it was right at the foot of my bed, just barely behind the curtain. And Parker was on the other side of the camper on his side. Well, I turned it off. We both went to bed and laid down. I couldn't go to sleep immediately. And then within a few minutes, I'd say 5-10 minutes, I wasn't quite asleep yet. I noticed the light was on. And I was like, okay, I guess Parker got up, because it was, we both made it pretty clear we were both tired. So I tried to go back to sleep, and then I looked up and the light's on. I said, and I got up, and, in a camper, you get up and it kind of moves you feel everything. And I peek around, just, like, dude, what are you doing up? And I looked around and I didn't see him. I said, Parker? He goes, yeah. I said, are you up? He goes, no, I'm trying to go to sleep. I just thought you were up. I said, well, why'd you leave the light on? He goes, I didn't. I said, what do you mean? Because, like, I would have seen him. The switch it's right at my foot. He goes, what are you talking about? I said, well, the light's on. And he goes, no, you just turned it off, but you got back up and turned it on. I said, no, that was you. He said, I didn't get up. And, like, he's being dead serious. They're known for pranking me, but we established real quick. And we both realized this isn't, I said, you didn't turn that on. He goes, no, I swear to God, I really am tired. Like, I didn't turn it on. I said, well, I didn't turn it on. I know I didn't. And the cat couldn't have done it. So the only thing that I can think of is some kind of ghost actually went over there and put, 2, 3, 4 pounds worth of inward pressure to turn that tiny little toggle switch on. And we both kind of got creeped out. Like, well, he did more because I didn't believe in that stuff. Still really don't, but it was like, that was my only, we both witnessed it at the same time type of moment where it, the light just came back on, and we both swore up and down it wasn't each other. So Team Rocket, your voice is calming. I love it. Well, I've been told that, and I've been told it's awful and it's scratchy, but Team Rocket, no, you're welcome. It's better to hear it honest than a diversion from the truth. I'm not sure if you're talking to me or in the chat, but yeah, I'm a big fan of the truth, because the truth will piss you off most of the time. If you didn't like your cat Masuka, why did you keep her? How did you remember Masuka? It was Masuka. You have been around a long time. She attacked me. I was playing with her one day, and kids were playing with her, and we got her a little bit too late. She wasn't like a kitten. She was like an adolescent. And in my experience, that is so strange that you remember Masuka. Yeah, it was Masuka. And I'll be happy to tell you how we got the name Masuka. Pana probably, if you know the cat's name, you probably know the origin of it. And if you do, I'll put it in the chat and I'll put it up there. But when you get them, if you don't get them when they're just like right off the tit, they get a little bit of wild in them. In my experience, they never get rid of it. And she just had a little bit too much wild in her. And she clawed. I mean, I didn't mind when we were playing, because she played okay. I didn't mind the cat claw me, but she really zapped me a few times, and we just got rid of her. But Masuka. I had a cat named Masuka, and was that I've had so many cats. I think I had that Masuka might have been a cat that I had in 2013 when I was still living in Odessa. I can't remember, but we named her Masuka because I was and still am a big Dexter fan. And Dexter, if you've not seen the TV series, is about a serial killer who only kills serial killers. And he works for the Miami Police Department as a blood spatter analyst, and his sidekick in there, he has no idea who Dexter, he knows him, but he doesn't realize that he's a murderer. He's also a forensic scientist, a blood spatter analyst, and his name is Vince Masuka. And he's so perverted, but he's also lovable at the same time. It's kind of hard to, if you've not seen the show, but I've always thought it's funny to have a cat named Masuka. Well, I've only been around a few years, but when I was on your channel, I took the time to watch most of your older videos. Masuka was in the camper when you had her. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's the story of where Masuka came from. Going on a bit of a tangent, I think pigeons get too much of a bad rep. I hate the term flying rats. They're good fluffy boys who like us to snug, and the world would be improved if we all gently snuggled them. Okay, well, I mean, if you love pigeons, you love pigeons. I mean, I love kitties. A lot of people hate cats. And if you love pigeons, you love pigeons. I've never loved a pigeon, never cared for them. They just shit all over the place, but they're kind of funny to watch. But yeah, cats are my thing, man. All right, kitties, it's an hour and 15 in. I guess I'm going to cut this short. It has been good talking to you all, and I'm sorry about the troll who interrupted everything. I'm going to have to figure out how to permablock that person. And again, if you're wanting to, pardon me, I forgot who that was earlier, email me. Come on live. There's a link that I can send you via email. And I'm looking at the StreamYard right here. I can pull up more than one. Miss Mary, you're on. You're going to be coming on here where if you want to talk about UFOs and aliens, let's do it. So anyway, okay, I'll get one last one in here. Team Rocket. The reason I said I like your voice now is mostly because it's nighttime now, and I like to listen to podcasts like this. Okay, well, I really genuinely appreciate that feedback. Sometimes I feel like I just do this for no reason, but I enjoy doing it. It'd be a lot easier, I think, if I had someone that would come on and, you know, I could bounce some ideas off of them. Because I've never been a huge podcast listener. I like to listen. In the old days, I'd listen more clips, like Rogan or something. He'd have 3, 4, 5 hour podcasts, and I've never listened to all the way through. But I did enjoy the conversation, between certain people or something. But Amberlynn Bacchus, hello. How am I? I'm doing well. Team Rocket also, I'm an old viewer. Nice to see you're doing well in life. Well, you've been around for a while then, Team Rocket. Evan Clam, I want to apologize. Well, thank you, Evan. Apology accepted, man. We can let bygones be bygones. Again, I wasn't trying to be a dick. I just simply cannot answer every phone call that people get when they get my number off the internet. I try my best. I've learned about myself that I have a limited amount of time. I've got a limited amount of heart space, and I've gone that road in the past where I would answer a lot of phone calls and people would get, I would say, an unhealthy attachment to talking to me. And it's not that I don't want to talk to them or I don't want to help them, but I have to have my own limits. I know I have to draw my own boundaries. I wished I could save the world, but I can't. That's part of the reason I do the podcast is people who have been through the stuff that my kids and me have gone through, they can relate to it. And if I can talk to a broader audience and talk to people about similar issues and help them in that way, it's my way of being able to give back a little bit. But again, I just simply cannot form personal relationships and spend too much time talking to every individual because I'm already bad with names. And then to add in these random callers, though your intentions may be good, but I have to preserve myself as well. So again, let's just, Evan, let bygones be bygones. Apology accepted. Yes. Well, maybe he does want to say something. I get it, but there's correct ways to go about it and there's incorrect ways to go about it. And blowing my phone up is an incorrect way to do it because all it does is aggravate me. But we don't have to discuss anymore, and we're just let bygones be bygones. But for real, it's an hour and 20 in, so I am going to end this. But thank you all for tuning in. Again, I asked this last time, and maybe you've got a new set of audience people, listeners here. For whatever reason, my channel is about to hit 500,000 subscribers. I'm about 1,500 away, and depending on how hopping my channel is, I've got that many in a few hours before, and it's taken me a month to get that many, and anywhere in between. But all of those subscribers are not getting the notifications for any of my lives or anything like that. Like at this moment, there's only 21 people listening. I think I saw 35 or 40 earlier, and then relatively speaking, and people keep telling me I love your stuff, but I never get a notification. I put a poll up on my community section on my channel, and about 1,000 people responded, and 75% of them all said, no, I don't get any notifications whatsoever. So I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because I've been lax in the past and I've not been steady and consistent. Maybe that's it. I really don't know. But if you enjoy this, send it to your friends. If you know somebody that's gone through the same crap that my kids and me have had to go through, send it to them. Possibly even click the unsubscribe and then resubscribe and click the bell. Maybe it'll reset it for you. Maybe it's on your device itself. Maybe if you've turned off those notifications, then you're not getting them from anybody. I mean, I totally get that, but I just know there's loads of other channels with far fewer subscribers that have, a lot more people on or they feel like, I'm sorry, I got distracted. I need to go now. I've got something I've got to take care of. So y'all take care. Bye. Thanks.